Good luck and good bowling.
All right, welcome bowling fans. We have another high school match for you. Napoleon against Whitmer. So the Wildcats versus the Panthers. Get started over here on the ladies' side.
Hopkins, your food order is ready, Hopkins.
All right, we got Kendall Horner up first on lane number 5. And that one goes a little bit high, ends up leaving the 2-7. Whitmer up on lane number 6.
Heather, your food order is ready.
Whitmer comes in just a little bit light, leaves the 1-2. Kendall now, spare attempt. And she misses that one. Brenna Massey up now for Napoleon on lane number 7. That one also goes a little high, ends up leaving the 2-4-5, a pickup of 7. Ariana Kiesling now on lane 5 for Napoleon. And she gets 9, leaves the 10-pin standing. And a strike for Whitmer on lane number 8. Whitmer picking up 8 on lane number 6, leaving the 1-2. Brenna now, spare attempt. And lets that one get away from her. So 7 count for her in the first frame. Ari picks up her spare. A nice pickup there by Whitmer on lane number 6, converting to 1-2-8. Macy Eicher with a strike for the Lady Cats on lane number 7. Sophia Kors now, lane number 7 for the Wildcats. And Sophia gets 8, leaves the 4-7. Count for Brenna on lane number 8, leaving the 1, 3, 5, and 8, it looks like. Sophia now, spare attempt. And again, that one gets away from her. Kendall picks up 9 on lane 6, leaves the 6-pin. Brenna now, spare attempt on lane 8. Nicely done, picks that up. And a strike for Whitmer on lane number 7. Kendall picks up her spare. And a split for Macy, leaving the 2-10. Whitmer picks up their spare on lane number 5. Ari drops all 10 for a strike on lane number 6. Whitmer picks up 6 on her first ball. Strike for Whitmer down on lane 5 just a moment ago. Macy picks up 1 out of the 2, so a 9 count for her in the second frame. All right, if I can get somebody out in the chat to give me a heads up that you guys can hear me, I would appreciate it. Sophia now, lane number 8. And 9 count for her, leaving a 10 pin. Kendall now, lane 5. And she leaves a 7 pin, pick up of 9 on her first ball. And Whitmer picks up the spare the hard way on lane number 6. Brenna picks up 8, leaving the 1-3 it looks like. Kendall just nicks the 7 pin and picks up the spare. Sophia misses her spare opportunity. Looking at Brenna's leave, that looks like the 1-9, not the either the 1-9 or the 5-9. I can't quite tell. Ariana Kiesling with back-to-back strikes on lane number 5. Spare attempt now from Brenna. Brenna picks it up. Missed spare opportunity from Whitmer on lane number 6. Count for Whitmer on lane 6, leaving a 7 pin. And a strike for Macy on lane number 7. Whitmer picking up 3 out of 4 on their spare attempt on lane 5. Spare conversion for Whitmer on lane 6. 9 count for Whitmer on lane number 8, leaving the 9 pin. Soph up now on lane number 7. And she picks up 9, also leaving a 9 pin. Kendall now swings that one out wide, ends up splitting, leaving the 4, 6, 7, 10 on lane 6. Again, if I can just get somebody in the chat to give me a thumbs up that you guys can hear me, I'd appreciate it. Whitmer converts their spare on lane 8. Kendall picks up 2 out of 4 on lane 6. Strike for Whitmer down on lane number 5. Sophia picks up the spare for Napoleon on lane 7. Brenna Massey now, lane number 8. That one comes in light, misses the head pin, leaves the 1, 3, 6, and 9. Ari picks up 9, leaves a 10 pin on lane 6. Ari now, spare attempt, lane 6. She's got it. Brenna, spare attempt on lane 8. Also picks it up. Kendall back up lane number 5. Picks up 9, leaves a 10 pin. All right, we'll switch over and see how the boys' match is going. Christian Horner gets all 10 to fall on lane number 3. Hunter Ehlers picks up his spare on lane 4. Slade McCorkle up now, lane number 2. Spare attempt, picks it up. Andrew Gallagher now, lane number 3. And Andrew with the strike there. Whitmer comes in light on lane 1, picks up 8. Hunter sends the messenger, takes out the 10 pin for a strike. All right, Whitmer up now on lane number 4. Lets that one get away from him. Whitmer's spare attempt on lane 1, picks it up. Whitmer on lane 3 now. That one goes high, splits on him, leaves a 6, 7, 10. Whitmer picks up 8 on lane 2, leaving the 2-8. Fox Taylor up now for Napoleon on lane number 1. And Fox crushes all 10. That's back-to-back strikes for him. Nice spare attempt there from Whitmer. Picks up 2 out of the 3. Christian up on lane number 4 for Napoleon. Slade up on lane number 1. And a strike for Christian. And a strike for Slade. So Christian with back-to-back strikes.
Corn dogs at the snack bar. Corn dogs at the snack bar.
Whitmer splitting, leaves the 4, 6, 7. That was on lane 3. Andrew up now for Napoleon on lane 4. And all 10 down for a strike for Andrew. That's a double up for him. Spare attempt from Whitmer on lane 3. Picks up 2 out of the 3. Hunter up now, lane number 4 for Napoleon. And another strike. That's a double up for Hunter as well. So Christian, Andrew, and Hunter all with double ups in the last 2 frames. Fox also with a double. Slade with a spare and a strike. And Christian ends up leaving the 1, 2, 8, 10 on lane number 3. Whitmer picks up 9, leaves the 2 pin. Whitmer comes in light on lane number 1, leaves the 1, 2, 4. And Christian picks up 2 out of the 3, so an 8 count for him. All right, Andrew up now. Lane number 3. And another strike for Andrew. Fox coming up on lane 2 for Napoleon. And he gets 9, leaves the 7 pin. Whitmer with a strike on lane 4. Hunter now up on lane 3. And Hunter picks up 8, leaves the 4-7. Fox now, spare attempt. Picks it up. Christian with a strike on lane number 4. Slade gets the last pin to drop. So a double up for him. Looks like they've put Alexa in for Kendall on the girls' side. Andrew up now. And he gets 9, leaves the 4 pin. And a strike from Whitmer down on lane 3. Spare attempt from Whitmer, picks it up on lane 1. Andrew, spare attempt, lane 4. Picks it up. Fox now on lane 1, and he crushes all 10 for the strike. And a strike ball from Whitmer on lane 3. Hunter up lane 4. That one went high, leaves the 4 pin. Pick up with 9. Slade now up on lane 1 for Napoleon. And he gets 9, leaves the 6 pin, it looks like. Christian with a strike on lane number 3. That's a double up for him. Hunter picks up his spare on lane 4 just a moment ago. 2 more for Whitmer for a total of 7 on lane 2. Andrew up now, lane number 3. And Andrew with a strike. Slade missed his spare opportunity on lane number 1. Nine count for Whitmer, leaving a 10 pin on lane 4. Hunter now, lane number 3. Gets 9, leaves a 10 pin. Whitmer, spare ball, picks it up. That was on lane 4. Hunter now, spare attempt, lane 4, and he converts. And 2 out of 3 for Whitmer on lane 2, so a 9 count for him in that frame. Whitmer picks up 8, leaving the 210. Whitmer coming in light to the pocket, misses the head pin on lane 2, leaves the 1-2-8. Spare attempt from Whitmer on lane 4, misses, so he'll have it end up with an 8 count. Whitmer lane 3, picks up 9, leaves a 4 pin. Christian getting ready to come up on lane 4. Christian picks up 8. Looks like the 1-2. Whitmer gets 9 down on lane 1, leaving a, I want to say it's a 4 pin, might be a 2 pin. Spare conversion by Whitmer on lane 3. Fox Taylor up lane 2, comes in light, picks up 6. Leaves the 1-2-8-9. Christian picks up his spare.
Grady onion rings at the snack bar.
So boys are in the 10th frame, so Christian will get one more. Whitmer's third bowler finishes with a strike and a 170 game. Christian gets 9 and finishes with 184. Once the boys finish out the 10th frame, we'll switch back to the girls, the end of the girls' first game. Slade picks up 9, leaves a 4 pin. Andrew picks up 8, leaves the 6-10. So Alexa and Kendall combined for a 142 in game number 1. Ariana Kiesling with a 216. Whitmer's first girl bowler had a 119. Their second bowler with a 148. Andrew picked up his spare. He'll get one more. Whitmer with a strike on the first ball in the 10th. Another strike for Whitmer. That was on lane 3. Andrew now, last ball, 10th frame. And he picks up 9 more. Finishes with a game of 203. Whitmer, the last ball, 10th frame on lane 3. And another strike. So 3 strikes in the 10th for Whitmer and a 163 game. Hunter starts out with 9, leaves a 10 pin. Fox picks up 9 on his first ball. Oh, and Hunter misses his spare attempt. So Hunter will finish with a 192. Fox now, spare attempt. And he missed his spare attempt. Switch over to the girls, just finishing up the 10th frame here. So Brenna picked up 7 on her first ball in the 10th, leaving the 3-5-6. Whitmer's third female bowler finished with a 188 game. Their fourth bowler finished with a 90. Brenna picks up 2 more, finishes with a 141. Whitmer opens the 10th frame with a 7, leaving the 1-2-4. Strike for Macy to start the 10th frame. Whitmer misses their spare attempt, and she'll finish up with a 131. Macy gets 9 on her second ball. Macy picks up her spare, finishes with a 172. Fox starts the 10th with a strike. Sophie up now, number 8.
Ooh, to the snack bar.
Comes in just a little light. Ends up picking up 8, leaving the 3-4, or I'm sorry, 3-6. Fox picks up 9 on his second ball, leaving the 3-pin. Whitmer's first bowler finished with a strike 9 and the 171. Sophia picks up her spare. She'll get 1 more. Fox, last ball, 10th frame. Picks it up. And Fox finishes with a 186. Sophia now, last ball, 10th frame. She picks up 9 more, so 157 for Sophia. That gives an unofficial total of 828 to 676. Napoleon leading by 152 pins. Slade, spare attempt, and just misses. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was Whitmer's bowler that just missed the spare. Slade up on lane 2. So 188 for Whitmer's second bowler. And Slade gets 8, leaves the 2-4. And a 9 count for Whitmer to start the 10th frame for the third bowler. Slade now, spare attempt, lane 2. Picks it up, he'll get 1 more. With a strike here, Slade could finish at 191. attempt from Whitmer, and he misses. So 123 for their third bowler. And a strike for Slade, so 191. All right, so I've got an unofficial score of 956 to 815. Napoleon leading by 141 pins. All right, we'll switch back to the girls here momentarily. And Alexa gets things started with a 7 count, leaving the 3-6-10. And a split for Brenna, leaving the 4-10. Alexa now, spare attempt. Picks up 2 out of the 3. Brenna picks up 1 out of 2. So a pair of opens for the Lady Cats to start the second game. Coach Randy having a word with the boys over there. Macy now, lane number 8. And a strike for Macy. Ariana Kiesling, lane number 6. And all 10 back for a strike for her. All right, Lily up now. Lane number 8. And she starts out with 9. All right, so 956, 815. Hunter with 192, Andrew 203, Slade 191, Christian 184, and Fox with 186. All right, Lily Light up for her spare attempt here on lane 8. And she's got it. Whitmer picks up their spare attempt on lane 7. Whitmer with another spare conversion on lane 6. Brenna now, lane number 7. And a strike for Brenna. Macy up now, lane number 7. Alexa stepping up on the lane number 5. And Macy gets all 10 to drop for the strike. That's a double up for her. 9 count for Alexa, leaving the 10 pin. And all but 1 fall for Whitmer, so a 9 count for her in the 6th frame. Nine count for Whitmer on lane 8 after the second ball. Lily gets 9, leaves the 7 pin standing. And a strike for Whitmer on lane number 6. Alexa now, spare attempt, lane number 5. She's got it. Strike for Whitmer on lane number 8. Lily now, spare attempt on lane 7. And just misses. Ari up, lane 5. And leaves the 4 pin. Brenna now, lane number 8. That one goes high, ends up picking up 6. leaving the 2, 4, 7, and 8. A split for Whitmer on lane number 7, leaving the 4, 7, 10. Ariana now, spare attempt on lane 5, picks it up. 3 out of 4 for Brenna on lane 8, so a 9 count for her. Alexa up now, lane number 6. And a strike for her. Macy gets 9, leaves 10 pin on lane 8. Strike for Whitmer down on lane number 5. Ariana now, lane number 6. Gets 9, can't get the 7 to go down. Macy picks up her spare on lane number 8. Lily now, lane number 8. And she gets 9, this time leaves a 10 pin standing. Ari picks up her spare in lane number 6. Lily now, spare attempt on lane 8. And just misses the spare. A strike for Whitmer on lane 5. Alexa now, lane number 5. Brenna up on lane 7. And Alexa with a strike. And Brenna gets 8. Ends up leaving the 3-5, it looks like. Strike for Whitmer a moment ago on lane number 6. Ari up now, lane 5. And leaves the 2-8, pickup of 8. Brenna coming up for her spare attempt on lane 7. She's got it. Ari now, spare attempt, lane 5.
Robert, food in the snack bar.
And she picks it up. Macy up now, lane 7. And a strike for Macy. Alexa picks up 8, leaves the 6-10. Lily now, lane number 7. And Lily gets 9, leaves the 6 pin. Alexa now, spare attempt. Picks it up. Lily, spare attempt on lane 7. She can't convert. Switching over to the boys. Fox Taylor up now.
Joe chicken strips and fries at the snack bar.
And he picks up 8, leaves the 1-3. Slade with a split. Can't convert. Whitmer with 9 on lane 3, leaving a 10 pin. Andrew up now, lane 4. And he picks up 9, leaves the 3 pin. Whitmer, spare attempt, picks it up. Eight count for Whitmer on lane 2, leaving a 6-10. Andrew now, spare attempt. Missed it. Slade with 9 down on lane number 1. Left a 7 pin. Spare attempt from Whitmer, lane number 2. Picks it up. Hunter now, lane number 4 for Napoleon. Can't get the 10 pin to drop. Tried leaning on it, didn't go down. Spare conversion, Slade, just missed. Christian now, lane number 3. And he gets all 10 to drop for the strike. Hunter now, spare attempt, picks it up. Andrew now, lane number 3. And he picks up 9.
Cheryl fries at the snack bar.
And a split for Whitmer on lane number 4. Looks like the 4-7-10. Andrew now, spare attempt, lane 3. And he picks it up. Spare attempt from Whitmer. Picks up 1 out of the 3. 9 count from Whitmer on his first ball in lane 2. Hunter now, lane number 3. And a strike for Hunter. Whitmer up roll on lane number 4. And he comes in light, leaves the 1-2-8. Spare attempt from Whitmer on lane 2. Picked it up. Whitmer on lane 3 now. And a strike for him. Spare attempt from Whitmer down on lane 1. Looks like the 6-10. And he converts. Fox up now, lane number 2 for Napoleon. Nice spare pickup by Whitmer on lane 4. And Fox goes a little high, ends up picking up 6, leaving the 3, 6, 9, and 10. Christian up now, lane number 4. Christian, leaving the 10-pin standing. Fox up, spare attempt. And he lets that one get away from him, so 6 count for Fox. Christian up now, spare attempt on lane 4. And he picks it up. Nice pick up there of the 3-6-10 on lane 3 by Whitmer. Andrew up lane number 4 for Napoleon. And he gets all 10 to drop for the strike. Slade also with a strike down on lane number 2. Hunter up now, lane number 4. Nice looking shot, but can't get the 10-pin to drop. Christian with a strike on lane number 3. Hunter, spare attempt, picks it up. Whitmer with a strike on lane 4. Fox up on lane 1, also with a strike. Andrew now, lane number 3. Comes in light, leaves the 1, 2, 4, 10, the washout. Nine count for Whitmer on lane 2. And Slade with a back-to-back strikes. Whitmer picks up their spare on lane number 2. Andrew's spare attempt here on lane 3. Needs to get to the left side of this head pin, drive it back into the 10. And he picks up 3 out of 4. Switch over to the girls here. Alexa Miller with a strike just a moment ago. Brenna picks up 1 out of 2 on her spare attempt on lane number 7. Ari now, lane number 6. And she ends up leaving the 1, 2, 4, and 10 washout. Macy now, lane 7. Gets all 10 to drop for the strike. Macy with at least 3 strikes in a row now, I'm seeing. Ari, spare attempt. Picks up 3 out of 4. Lily up, lane 7. And Lily gets all 10 to drop for the strike. Whitmer with 6 on lane 6. Brenna up now for Napoleon. Gets 9 of them to fall, leaving 6 pins. strike for Whitmer on lane number 7. 9 count for Whitmer on lane number 5, leaving a 3-pin. Spare attempt successful by Whitmer on lane 6. Brenna, spare attempt on lane 8 now. She's got it. Seven count for Whitmer on lane number 6. That was her second ball. Oh, that was her last ball in the 10th. I'm sorry. 139 for her. Alexa now starts out the 10th with a strike, builds on the 9th and the strike in the 9th frame. 8 count for Whitmer on lane 6, leaving a 310. Nice pickup by Whitmer there on lane 7 for the spare. Macy looking at a 710 on lane 8. Alexa now. And another strike for Alexa, 2 in the 10th. Macy picks up 1 out of 2. Whitmer picked up their spare. They'll get 1 more ball on lane 6. Alexa now, last ball, 10th frame. Lily with a strike on lane 8. And Alexa picks up 8 more for a 2-14 game. Nice game, Alexa. And Whitmer's second female bowler ends up with a 156. Ari starts the 10th with a strike. Brenna picks up 9 to start the 10th frame, leaving a 10-pin. 8 count for Whitmer on lane 6 to start the 10th. So Whitmer's 4th male bowler finished with a 191. Christian finished with a 224. Ari with 2 strikes now in the 10th. Last ball, 10th frame for Ariana Kiesling. And a 9 count, leaving the 8-pin standing for a 200 even. $158 for Brenna Massey. $191 for the Whitmer 3rd female bowler. Macy starts out the 10th frame with a strike. Andrew Gallagher finishes with a 194. Whitmer's 5th male bowler finished with a 183. Hunter Ehlers starts the 10th frame with a strike. Spare from Slade in the, I believe it's the 9th frame. Macy with 2 strikes in the 10th. So 108 for the Whitmer 4th female bowler and 134 for the 5th female bowler. Hunter with a strike, 2 strikes in the 10th now. And Macy finished with a nice game of 209. Lily starts out with 9 in the 10th frame. So Garrett in for Fox. Finish out his, looks like the 9th frame maybe. Lily now, spare attempt. And she's got it. So Hunter Ehlers finished with a game of 235. Nice game, Hunter. Lily's last ball, 10th frame, picks up 8 more. So Lily finishes with a game of 171. All right, switch over to the boys match. Slade up now, lane 2. And a strike for Slade. Garrett Hull now, lane 1, starts out the 10th with a strike. Garrett with a strike, second strike in the 10th. And a strike for Whitmer to start out the 10th frame. And 3 strikes in the 10th for Garrett. So Garrett and Fox combined for a 150 game. Whitmer gets 9 on their second ball. Slade up now, lane number 1. And he picks up 9. Scoreboard says 8, but, oh, no, I'm sorry, it is 8. Never mind. 6:10 left down there. Whitmer picks up their spare and finishes with a game of 223. Slade picks up his spare. Eight count for Whitmer. So Avery Badenhop up first for the ladies in Baker game number 1. Picks up the spare. An open for Whitmer girls. And a strike for Slade to finish out with a 171. And Whitmer misses their spare attempt and finishes with a 135. Lily Light is up second for the girls. Starts out with a 9 count. Looks like a 4-pin left. All right, we'll switch over to the girls for the Bakers as Whitmer is finishing up, and we'll get the scores updated and on the screen. Whitmer starts out with a strike in the 10th frame. Lily now, spare attempt, and she's got it. Another open for Whitmer girls in the 2nd frame. Seven count for Whitmer girls on lane 8. Alexa Miller up now for the Lady Cats. And nope, 9 count. I didn't see the 7-pin. Whitmer, spare attempt, picks up 1, so an 8 count for them in the 3rd. Alexa now, spare attempt on lane 7. And she misses. Nine count for Whitmer girls, leaving a 4-pin. Last ball by the Whitmer boys. And picks up the spare and finishes with 187. All right, so I have 974, 919 for the boys in the 2nd game. That's a total of 1930 to 1734. Napoleon leading by 196 pins. The girls over in the 2nd game had 952 to 728. So they are leading by 376 pins. Strikes for the Lady Cats in the 4th and 5th frames. Avery's back up. She got 9 on their first ball. And just misses the spare attempt. Boys scores 956, 974, 815, 919, 1930, 1734. All right, Lily with 9 on her first ball. Takes aim at the 7-pin here for her spare. And she's got it. Strike for the boys on their first ball in the first Baker game. Oliver up now, lane number 3. And he comes in a little light, leaves the 1-2, pickup of 8. Alexa up now for the girls, lane number 7. And she gets 9. And Whitmer picks up 2 out of the 3. It's an open frame for them. Oliver, spare attempt, just misses. It's an open frame for Napoleon. Whitmer picks up 7 more for a total of 8 on lane 8. Split for Whitmer boys. 210. Fox up for the boys on lane 3. And he gets a little help, picks up 9, leaves just the 4-pin. Alexa misses her spare attempt on lane number 7. Kendall with 9, leaving a 10-pin. Strike for Whitmer in the 10th frame, building on a strike in the 9th frame. Fox picks up his spare. Kendall now, spare attempt on lane 7. And she's got it. Garrett Hall up, and a strike for him on lane number 3. 6 count for Whitmer. Leaves the 4, 6, 7, 10. Ari up now, 10th frame for the Lady Cats. Strike for Ari. Spare from Whitmer boys on lane number 4. Pick up 2 out of the 4. So Whitmer girls will finish with a 133 in the first Baker game. Slade starts out with 9 on lane 3. Whitmer boys splitting. Leave the 4, 7, and 10 on lane 4. And Slade misses his spare opportunity. Ariana picked up 5, left the Greek church. The 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. And she picks up 3 more, and the girls will finish with a Baker game of 170. Extends their lead to 413 pins. Jacob Danette with a strike. Strike for Whitmer. Oliver up now. Oliver with a strike. So back-to-back strikes for the Wildcat boys. Whitmer with a strike on lane number 4. That's a back-to-back strikes for them as well. Fox up now, lane number 3, picks up 9, leaves the 4-pin. Ladies will switch side and start Baker game number 2. Whitmer boys now. Picks up 9, looks like a 5-pin left. Fox picks up his spare. 7 count for the Whitmer girls. Leaving the 1, 2, 4. Strike to start things out with from Sophie. Whitmer picks up their spare in the 7th frame. Garrett now picks up 9, leaves the 10 pin. And a spare from the Whitmer girls on lane number 7. Garrett now, spare attempt, picks it up. Brenna Massey with a strike for the Lady Cats. So a pair of strikes to start out the 2nd Baker game. Whitmer getting 8, leaving the 2-8 on lane number 4. And a strike for Avery Badenhop, so make that 3 in a row for the Lady Cats. Slade now, lane number 3. Strike for Slade. And Whitmer picks up 4 out of the 5, so a 9 count for them. I'm sorry, that's Macy Eicher with a strike in the 4th frame. Whitmer with a strike on the boys' side in the 9th frame. Slade now, 2nd ball, 10th frame, another strike for him. Kendall up now. And Kendall gets 9, leaves the 3 pin. Whitmer, spare attempt, lane 7, opens. Whitmer boys, 10th frame, gets 9, can't get the 9 pin to go down. Last ball from Slade, lane number 3, and another strike. So 192 for the boys in the 1st Baker game. Sophia up, 1st ball, picks up 6, leaves the 3, 5, 6, and 7. Whitmer boys, last ball, 10th frame. And a 9 count, so 169. So that will extend Napoleon's lead to 219 pins after the 2 individual games and the 1st Baker game. Switch back over to the girls here. Whitmer picks up 2 out of the 4. Brenna picks up 8, leaves 6-10. Brenna, spare attempt, lane 8. And she misses. So an open frame for Napoleon. And 8 for Whitmer girls on lane 7. Avery up now for the girls. And Avery picks up 9. Leaves the 10-pin standing. Whitmer picks up 8, leaves the 1-2. And Jacob starts things out with a strike in the second Baker game. Spare attempt from the Whitmer girls here in lane 7. Picks it up. Whitmer boys also picked up their spare. Avery missed her spare attempt on lane number 8. Oliver up now, lane number 4, and a strike for Oliver. So back-to-back strikes to start things out in the second Baker game. Strike for Macy on the Lady Cat, lane number 8. Fox comes in light, leaves the 1, 2, 8, and 10. Whitmer picks up 7 on her first ball, ends up with 7 for the frame. 9 count for Kendall, leaving the 3-pin, I think it is. Open frame for Whitmer boys in the second frame. Fox up now, spare attempt. And he gets 3 out of 4 with a valiant effort. Kendall picks up the spare in lane number 8. Garrett goes Brooklyn side, picks up the strike. And strike for the last ball by Kendall. Or I'm sorry, that was the spare. Yeah, strike. So 189 is the Baker game number 2 for the girls. Whitmer picks up 9 on their first ball in the 9th frame on the girls' side, lane 7. And Whitmer boys pick up 2 out of 4 for an 8 count. Hunter picks up his spare. That's in the 5th frame. All right, we'll switch over to the boys' side. Whitmer splits. Looks like the 210 or the 410. Jacob picks up 7 and splits, leaving the 2-8-10. And Whitmer girls will finish with 95. So Napoleon girls lead by 5:07 unofficially. Jacob picks up 2 out of the 3 for an open frame in the 6th. Whitmer picks up 8 on lane number 3, leaving the 2-7. Oliver up now, lane number 4, and a strike for Oliver. Avery will get things started for the girls in Baker game number 3. And she gets 9. Leaves, looks like the 3-pin. Fox up now for the boys. 9 count for Fox, leaving a 4-pin. Whitmer boys with 8. Looks like the 5-9 left. Avery, spare attempt, and she'll miss. Fox now, spare attempt. He picks it up. Whitmer picks up their spare on lane number 3. Garrett now, lane number 4 for Napoleon. And he gets 8, leaving the 6-10. Sophie up on lane number 8. Comes in light, leaves the 1, 3, 6, and 9. 6 count for the Whitmer girls on lane number 7. Whitmer picks up 9 on their first ball, leaving the 10-pin. Garrett now, spare attempt, and that one falls off to the left, so an open frame in the 9th frame. Hunter up now, lane number 4, 10th frame. Starts out with 9, leaves the 4-pin. Sophia picks up 1 more, so an open frame for her in the 2nd. Whitmer spares in the 8th frame over on lane number 3. Lily up now on lane number 8. Spare attempt from Hunter, successful. Lily picks up 9, leaves the 10-pin. Picked up the spare, last ball 10th frame, and 9, so 165 for Napoleon in Baker game number 2. Lily missed her spare opportunity. All right, switch back over to the girls. Eight count for Kendall, leaving the 4-7. 9 count for Whitmer, leaving a 7-pin. Strike for Whitmer boys in the 10th frame in lane number 3. Nine count for Whitmer, leaving the 6-pin on lane number 7 for the girls. Kendall picks up her spare in the 4th frame. Whitmer picks up their spare on the girls' side, lane number 7. Whitmer with another strike, 2 strikes in the 10th on the boys' side, lane number 3. Macy picks up, looks like 6, leaving the 2, 4, 5, 8. Whitmer picks up 6 and to start frame 6 on lane 7. Whitmer boys pick up 8 on their final ball in the 10th frame. Finish with a 135. Just updated the scores. So after 2 Baker games, I have Napoleon at 2287 to 2038, a difference of 249 pins, and the Napoleon girls at 2139 to 1632, a difference of 507 pins. So Avery picked up 7 on her first ball. Avery, spare attempt now. And she chops, picks up 1, so a total of 8 in the 6th frame. Jacob starts things out in the 3rd Baker game with a 9, leaves the 6 pin. Picks up 6 on lane 7 for the girls. Jacob missed his spare attempt. Seven count for Sophie, leaving me 3, 5, 6. Whitmer won't pick up anymore on lane 7, so a 6 count for them. Oliver with a strike in this 3rd Baker game. 9 count for Whitmer boys after starting out with a strike. Strike for the Whitmer girls in the 9th frame. Sophie picks up 2 out of 3, so a 9 count for her in the 7th frame. Lily up now, lane number 8. And Lily picks up 7. Looks like the 2, 4, 5 left. And strike for Whitmer girls to start the 10th frame. 9 count for Christian, left a 7 pin, trying to clean up the spare here. And he's got it. Lily now, spare attempt. And she chops, picks up 1 out of the 3. So an 8 count in the 8th frame. Strike for Whitmer on lane number 3. Garrett up now, lane 4 for Napoleon. And he gets the messenger to take out the, look like the 9 pin. And a strike for him. Kendall with a strike for the Lady Cats over on lane number 8. Whitmer misses their spare attempt, and they'll finish with a 108 in the 3rd and final Baker game. Macy starts out the 10th frame with a strike. 9 count for Whitmer boys down lane number 3, leaving a 10 pin. Andrew up now in the number 5 spot. And can't get the 9 pin to go down, so 9 count for him on his first ball. Macy now, second ball. And she picks up 9, leaves a 10 pin. Whitmer boys missed their spare attempt down on lane 3. Macy now, last ball, 10th frame. And she misses it. So 122 in the third Baker game. Switch back to the boys. So unofficially, I've got 2261 to 1740. 521 pin difference. Girls average 173.92 for the day. Jacob with a strike to start out frame number 6. And Whitmer picks up 2 more for a total of 7 on lane number 3. All right, so the girls, 828, 952 for the individuals, 676, 728 for Whitmer for the individuals. Baker games of 170, 189, and 122 for 2261, 173.9, and 133.95 and 108 for Whitmer. And Oliver picks up his spare. Okay, Christian up next for the boys. And a strike for Christian.
There we go!
Garrett Hall up now, lane number 4 for Napoleon. And a Brooklyn strike, back-to-back strikes for Napoleon. And a 9 count for Whitmer to start the 7th frame. Andrew up now, 10th frame. And he gets 8, leaves the 3-9. Spare attempt from Whitmer. And they miss in the 7th, so an open in the 7th. Andrew now, spare attempt. And he picks it up. He'll get 1 more in the 10th. Whitmer boys with a strike in the 8th frame. Andrew now, last ball, 10th frame. And a strike for Andrew to close it out. 197, Baker game number 3. So Napoleon, I've got unofficially at 2484. Game 1, 9056, 974. Baker games of 192, 165, 197, averaging 191.08 for the day. So Whitmer with a pair of strikes in the 8th and 9th frame. Starts out the 10th with a strike. Second ball, 10th frame for Whitmer. And another strike. That's now 4 strikes in a row for Whitmer. All right, last ball. And another strike. So Whitmer finishing with 181. So unofficially I have 2219 with individual games of 815, 919, and Baker games of 169, 135, and 181. All right, get the scores updated on the screen. All right, just confirm the scores here real quick. 956, 974. 815, 919, Baker games 192, 165, 197, 2484, Baker games 169, 135, 181, 41734, or I'm sorry, 2219. So, yep. So Napoleon boys won by 265 pins. Napoleon girls won by 521. Our next match will be on Wednesday the 15th against Fremont Ross, and that's an away match at Plaza Lanes. So join us on the live stream then. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And we'll close it out as we always do. And go Wildcats!